Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I have just come off of a 41-day solo passage at sea on my Grind 27 sloop from Panama to the Marquesas, which is where Nukuhiva is. So one of the first things that my friends made me do, there's a big group of us who left from Panama at similar times, and everyone beat me there because my boat's tiny and slow. They took me out to see this local dance, which was really cool, but also kind of insane because I hadn't seen any humans for a month and a half, and then suddenly I was watching all these warriors doing these dances, and anyway, these videos lag a couple months behind where I am in real time. So right now I'm hanging out in the Tuamotus Islands, which are between the Marquesas and the Societies being Tahiti and Bora Bora. If you want to see what I'm doing in real time and see some sick footage of swimming and diving and coral and stuff, check out my Instagram at @BoatLizard, and you can see what I'm doing in real time. So without further ado, please enjoy the rest of the video. You can't see, but I'm smiling at the camera. I'm getting ready to leave the main anchorage, and before I do that, I'm going to do some provisioning in town. There's a really nice little fruit and veg market that I'm going to go to pick up whatever local produce they have for sale. My next stop was just 5 or 6 miles around the corner from the main bay, Daniels Bay, where I was told I would be able to find drinking water. When I arrived in the Marquesas, I met up again with Yarna, who is my buddy boater and fellow single-handed sailor. He is single-handing his Spirit 32, and we have the same route, so we actually both left Panama at the same time and arrived in the Marquesas about a week apart. Since the Pacific is big and wild and remote, we've decided that we're going to buddy boat around all the islands and bays together. Water filling mission!
Yeah!
So we set a stern anchor on my boat last night because the boats are lying beam to the swell and it's really rolly. And this way it was a really comfortable night of sleep. And Yarna had the clever idea to put a little buoy on the end of the anchor so you can retrieve it again. Where it is.
Smart.
We have all our jerrys, and then here too. And apparently there's a little beach you can go to where you can fill them up at a tap by a yellow kayak. We've been told, and the rest of the instructions we forgot to listen to. So we're just looking for a beach. We're tired. We were in a food coma. Yeah. It's really steep. Our first instruction is to find the river on one of the edges of the beach and motor up it, but this beach is pretty steep and the waves are definitely breaking. They said you can only enter at high tide, so we are hitting it right at the height of high. Ooh!
Still moving though?
We're still moving. This is really cool. We just surfed some waves coming in. Almost got pooped. Wow, this is gorgeous. I almost fell out of the dinghy. This is crazy. We should have brought the paddle. I can swim.
I can walk.
Yeah. My dinghy is a rowboat, and Yarna's dinghy has a 2.5 horse outboard on it. So we opted to use his dinghy for this mission just because it's a bit of a hike, but now that we were in the river, we were thinking maybe we should have taken the rowboat since we already hit one rock very slowly. No damage, but still. Here's the little village. Maybe to the left, Susan? Most scenic water catching expedition ever. Oh, that's a good idea, and then walk around. Oh, there's the yellow kayak. That was the second part of the instructions. The only part. We got beach, river, yellow kayak. So far, so good. This is a really cute little village. She brought a hose out from their house for us so we can fill our little jerry's. Water. Okay, back out. Full water. Slightly muddy dinghy from little kid feet. But totally worth it. Here we go. Getting out against these waves up here in the camera, it doesn't look as bad as it actually was in real life, but now we were loaded down by a ton of water, plus ourselves, and trying to go out against these waves. With the 2.5 horse, we weren't really making good speed at all and couldn't really find a good gap between the breakers, so we realized at some point we just had to go for it. Shit.
We got this one right.
Yeah. If we angle ourselves to it, oh fuck. That was a little wet. Got a little wet there. But we're out. With minimal damage. Cool. I would say mission success. So far. Here's the Ziploc baggie I brought to keep my money dry in case they charged us, which they didn't. And my jerry's, and then we're gonna go to Yarna's boat and put his jerry's in his boat. And I'm gonna hang up my shirt to dry. And then we're gonna go on a waterfall hike. Check out my next video in 2 weeks for some lovely, tranquil walking through the beautiful countryside, seeing waterfalls, and of course some nasty slogging through 30 knots of wind, upwind, to get to the other bay so that we could get a cell phone signal and I could do some YouTube video uploading because you guys matter. YouTube, this one's for you! Mission, find a cell signal. We're sailing towards the cell tower now. It's a little windy out here.
We're stupid!
Thanks for watching this week's video. I put up new videos every 2 Mondays, every other Monday. That one, every 2 weeks on Monday. Thank you, Tish, for taking my uploads that I put onto Dropbox and sticking them onto YouTube for me with the very limited network connection that I have in French Polynesia. Dropbox is the only way that I am able to upload videos on a sporadic network. Everything else will just restart them. This is not an ad for Dropbox, but if you'd like to sponsor me, that would be cool. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who support me and make this possible. Seriously, guys, if it wasn't for you, I'd probably be in Panama working as a cashier or something, trying to get money to one day go to the Pacific. So this is amazing. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my thingy is @BoatLizard. Oh, and if you want to sponsor me on Patreon, my Patreon thingy is Wind Hippie Sailing. Patreon.com/windhipping. That would be cool. Thank you. Thank you for your lovely comments. I know I'm not great at responding to them right now, but that is because it's really hard to find a connection that's good enough to load anything these days. 3 of the over 30 reefs have 4G cell network, and the other ones have extended network, which I can squeak out Instagram posts, but loading anything else is tricky and time consuming. I try to answer. Cool. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.